Good evening, everyone. I want to talk to you about something that's often misunderstood in our culture, love. We've been told over and over that love is something we have to chase down, something we have to seek desperately, as if it's a prize waiting to be earned. We've all heard the stories, the songs, the advice, you'll never find it if you're not looking for it, but what if the opposite is true? What if the key to finding the kind of love that lasts, the kind that nurtures, supports, and grows with us is actually to stop looking for it? This doesn't mean we stop wanting love or connection. No, what it means is that we stop needing it to complete us, to define us, to validate us. We stop using the search for love as a distraction from the deeper work we need to do on ourselves. We stop putting love on a pedestal and treating it like the one thing that will make us whole. Self-acceptance is often regarded as the foundation of a fulfilled life and healthy relationships, yet it is something many of us struggle with. It's easy to look outward for validation, approval, hoping that someone will confirm our worth. But the truth is, real power comes from within, from understanding and embracing who we are in all our complexities and contradictions. 1. Understanding self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is not the same as self-esteem or self-love, though they are closely related. While self-esteem often revolves around how we perceive our value or worth in comparison to others, self-acceptance is about embracing who we are, flaws and all, without judgment or the need for external validation. It means making peace with our strengths, our weaknesses, our past, and our present. It's an inner knowing that we are enough, exactly as we are, without needing to prove ourselves to anyone. We live in a world that often tells us we're not enough, not rich enough, not successful enough, not attractive enough, not intelligent enough. These external standards become internalized, creating an endless cycle of self-criticism and doubt. But self-acceptance breaks that cycle. It asks us to stop comparing ourselves to others and start comparing ourselves to our own potential. It allows us to see that our worth isn't contingent on meeting arbitrary standards set by society, but on our inherent humanity and the unique path we've walked. 2. The inner peace that comes with self-acceptance. When we accept ourselves, we stop fighting against our flaws and imperfections. We stop trying to hide the parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable or unworthy. Instead, we embrace our vulnerabilities and understand that they do not make us any less lovable or worthy of respect. In fact, these imperfections often create opportunities for growth, learning, and deeper connection with others. Imagine a life where you stop second-guessing every decision, worrying about how you're perceived, or trying to mold yourself into something you're not just to fit in. That's what self-acceptance offers, the freedom to be at peace with who you are. It's a deep sense of inner calm that allows you to step into the world without fear, without apology, and without the constant need for approval. When we stop trying to be someone else, we tap into our true potential. We stop limiting ourselves with self-doubt and start believing that who we are is good enough. This doesn't mean that we stop growing or improving. It means we stop the self-criticism that keeps us stuck in a state of dissatisfaction and begin to approach life with curiosity and openness. We become more comfortable with the uncomfortable, accepting that imperfection is part of the human experience. 3. Self-acceptance as the basis for healthy relationships. Self-acceptance is critical when it comes to forming healthy, fulfilling relationships. Many of us go into relationships with the unspoken expectation that the other person will validate us and make us feel whole. We seek out partners who will fill the gaps we believe exist within us. This can lead to codependency as we place our sense of worth in the hands of someone else. But real love and connection come from a place of mutual respect and equality, not dependency. The healthiest relationships are built when both individuals are secure in their own self-worth. When we accept ourselves, we are not looking for someone else to define us or make us feel valuable. Instead, we bring our whole selves to the relationship, knowing that we are enough on our own, and that the relationship is simply an opportunity to deepen that sense of self-acceptance in the presence of another person. Self-acceptance also means acknowledging our needs and boundaries within relationships. We are not afraid to ask for what we need or to walk away from relationships that are not nurturing or respectful. When we know we deserve love and respect, we no longer settle for less. We become better equipped to recognize toxic dynamics and break free from them, creating space for healthy, balanced connections. 4. Self-acceptance leads to freedom and empowerment. One of the most empowering aspects of self-acceptance is that it frees us from the tyranny of perfectionism. It allows us to take risks, try new things, and fail without the fear of judgment or failure holding us back. When we stop holding ourselves to impossible standards, we start taking ownership of our lives, recognizing that our worth is not tied to our achievements or outward success. In fact, when we stop seeking approval, we start making decisions that are more aligned with our authentic desires and passions. We become more connected to our true selves, more confident in the direction we want to go, and less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others. This freedom gives us the courage to pursue our dreams without the weight of self-doubt. 5. Cultivating self-acceptance. So, how do we cultivate this powerful mindset of self-acceptance? The first step is to practice self-compassion. We need to stop beating ourselves up for mistakes and start treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend. Every time we catch ourselves being self-critical, we can gently remind ourselves that we are human and that it's okay to fall short sometimes. Another key to self-acceptance is embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it's a source of strength. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves up to deeper connections with others and a greater sense of self-awareness. It's about being honest with ourselves, acknowledging our fears, our desires, and our struggles without judgment. Finally, practicing mindfulness and being present in the moment helps us to focus on our inherent worth rather than constantly striving to achieve something that will prove our value. By taking time to reflect on the good things in our lives, the qualities that make us unique, and the love we already give and receive, we can build a solid foundation of self-acceptance. Conclusion. Self-acceptance is not an end goal, but an ongoing process. It's about learning to honor ourselves, our experiences, and our imperfections. When we fully accept ourselves, we are free to live with authenticity, vulnerability, and confidence. We stop seeking validation from others and start living from a place of internal fulfillment. In the end, self-acceptance is the key to a life of freedom and empowerment. It allows us to stop looking for external love to fill us and instead recognize that we are already worthy of love and belonging just as we are. And when we truly embrace that, we can walk through the world with our heads held high, knowing that we are enough exactly as we are. Authenticity is one of the most powerful and transformative qualities that we can bring into our relationships. It is the foundation for deep, meaningful connections and the antidote to the surface-level interactions that often leave us feeling unfulfilled or misunderstood. Yet cultivating authenticity in relationships requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to be seen for who we truly are, not who we think we should be or what we think others expect of us. 1. The importance of authenticity in relationships. At the core of every meaningful connection lies a sense of mutual understanding and acceptance. Authenticity allows us to show up in our relationships as our true selves, not as an image we've crafted or as the version we believe others want to see. It is the raw, unfiltered version of ourselves with all of our quirks, imperfections, and contradictions. When we cultivate authenticity, we create an environment where trust can flourish. Inauthenticity, on the other hand, breeds suspicion, confusion, and resentment. If we are pretending to be someone we are not, or hiding parts of ourselves out of fear of judgment or rejection, it's nearly impossible to build a solid foundation for a deep, lasting connection. Authentic relationships allow both parties to be fully themselves, knowing they are accepted for who they truly are. When we step into authenticity, we invite others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of openness, trust, and real connection. 2. Overcoming fear and vulnerability. One of the biggest challenges in cultivating authenticity in relationships is overcoming the fear of being vulnerable. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, something to be guarded and hidden. We fear being judged, rejected, or misunderstood if we show our true selves, especially when our insecurities or past wounds are part of the picture. But here's the truth: vulnerability is the gateway to authentic connection. It's the act of allowing ourselves to be seen in our most raw and unguarded form. And it is through this that trust and intimacy are built. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we give others permission to do the same. Authenticity in relationships requires that we let go of the masks we wear and the walls we build to protect ourselves. To cultivate authenticity, we must practice being vulnerable not only by sharing our strengths, but also by owning our weaknesses, fears, and uncertainties. We need to let go of the need for perfection and embrace the beauty in being human, with all the messiness that comes with it. 3. The role of self-awareness in authenticity. Self-awareness is essential for authenticity. In order to show up as our true selves in relationships, we first need to understand who we are. This involves taking the time to reflect on our values, beliefs, desires, and emotional needs. It also means understanding our triggers, insecurities, and patterns that may have developed over time as a result of past experiences. The more we know ourselves, the better we can communicate our needs and boundaries to others. Authenticity doesn't just happen by accident. It's a practice that requires us to be honest with ourselves first. It also means recognizing the areas of our lives where we may be hiding or pretending. Perhaps we're trying to be someone we're not in order to please a partner, or maybe we're avoiding difficult conversations for fear of conflict. By increasing our self-awareness, we can identify these moments and begin to make conscious choices to show up as our authentic selves. The more we cultivate inner fulfillment, the greater our overall life satisfaction. Inner fulfillment leads to a sense of peace and joy that is independent of external circumstances. We stop chasing after external achievements as a way to prove our worth, and instead we focus on living a life that feels meaningful and authentic to us. This shift leads to increased satisfaction with our daily lives, as we are no longer distracted by the pursuit of things that do not truly bring us happiness. Moreover, inner fulfillment allows us to embrace life's challenges with resilience. When we are fulfilled from within, we are better able to face difficult situations with a calm and balanced perspective. We understand that struggles are part of life, but they do not define us. Our sense of fulfillment remains intact, no matter what life throws our way. Conclusion. Inner fulfillment is not a destination, it is an ongoing process that requires attention, self-awareness, and care. It is about cultivating a deep sense of peace, contentment, and purpose from within, independent of external circumstances or the approval of others. By aligning our lives with our core values, practicing gratitude, nurturing our emotional well-being, and embracing our passions, we can create a life that feels deeply fulfilling and meaningful. When we live from a place of inner fulfillment, we no longer need to seek validation from external sources, and we are free to enjoy life for what it truly is. This fulfillment becomes the bedrock upon which we build healthy relationships, create personal growth, and embrace life's journey with authenticity and joy. In a world that often celebrates instant gratification, where everything from communication to entertainment is available at the touch of a button, it can be incredibly challenging to trust the natural flow of life. We live in a culture that prizes speed, success, and achievement, which leads many of us to feel like we must have everything figured out by a certain age or at a specific moment. However, trusting the timing of your life is one of the most important practices you can adopt in cultivating inner peace and embracing the fullness of your unique journey. 1. The illusion of control and the pressure of timelines. From an early age, many of us are taught to follow a set timeline: graduate school, get a job, find a partner, buy a house, start a family, and so on. These societal milestones create a pressure to achieve certain things at certain ages. And when we deviate from these expectations, we often feel like we are failing or falling behind. However, this one-size-fits-all approach to life is an illusion that overlooks the fact that everyone's journey is different. The truth is, we cannot control every aspect of our lives, nor should we. Life is fluid, unpredictable, and often requires us to adapt to circumstances beyond our control. By attaching ourselves to rigid timelines and comparing our progress to others, we limit our ability to fully appreciate our individual path and trust the timing of our experiences. Realizing that life doesn't operate on our clock but unfolds in its own time is the first step toward peace. 2. The role of patience and acceptance. Trusting the timing of your life requires patience not just with the external world, but with yourself. We live in a society that often celebrates quick success and achievements, but the most meaningful things in life take time. Whether it's building a career, finding the right relationship, or pursuing personal growth, these things unfold in their own time and require patience, self-compassion, and acceptance. When we trust the timing of our lives, we let go of the urge to force things to happen on our schedule. This does not mean that we sit idly by or stop taking action toward our goals, but it means that we relinquish the need for immediate results. We stop comparing ourselves to others or judging ourselves for not being where we should be. Instead, we practice acceptance and patience, knowing that everything will unfold in its right time, even if that time is different than we expected. 3. Embracing the seasons of life. Just as nature has its seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, so do our lives. Each phase of life has its own unique rhythm and timing, and we must honor these seasons as they come. There will be times of growth and expansion, times of rest and reflection, and times of challenges and transformation. These seasons are natural, and each one is necessary for our personal development. For example, the season of personal growth may be one where we are focused on developing new skills, learning about ourselves, and laying the groundwork for future success. The season of rest may be a time of recovery, healing, or reassessment of our goals. The season of challenges may test our resilience and strength. When we trust that these phases are part of the bigger picture, we can accept each one as it comes, knowing that it's leading us toward greater fulfillment. Trying to skip ahead to the next season or force ourselves into a phase we think we should be in can be counterproductive. When we resist the natural flow of our life's timing, we end up creating more friction and frustration. Trusting that there's a time for everything allows us to honor each phase, knowing it is all part of our evolution. 4. Letting go of fear and trusting the process. Fear often stands in the way of trusting the timing of our lives. We fear that we're running out of time, that we're too old to start something new, or that we'll miss our big break. This fear can cause us to rush to make impulsive decisions or to push ourselves harder than is necessary, all in an attempt to control the outcome. But fear only serves to create stress and anxiety, which clouds our ability to see the bigger picture. When we trust the timing of our lives, we let go of that fear. We stop living from a place of urgency and start living with the faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. This doesn't mean we stop putting in effort or taking action, but it means we stop forcing outcomes or allowing fear to dictate our decisions. By embracing trust, we release the need for certainty and control, and we open ourselves up to the possibility that life is guiding us toward exactly what we need, even if we can't see it right now. Often the things we think we want most aren't the things that are best for us. Trusting the process allows us to surrender to life's flow and trust that, in time, we will be exactly where we need to be. 5. The beauty of timing and synchronicity. When we trust the timing of our lives, we begin to notice the synchronicities that occur, the seemingly random events that align perfectly to create opportunities and outcomes that we could never have planned for. timing is not just a matter of chance, it's the unseen force that orchestrates the unfolding of our lives in ways that we may not fully understand. For example, perhaps you've experienced a time when you met someone just when you needed them, or when an opportunity appeared at a time you least expected. These moments often seem like coincidences, but they are examples of life's timing at work. Trusting in these moments of synchronicity allows us to step back and marvel at how everything can fall into place when we stop forcing things to happen and start allowing life to unfold in its own way. 6. Developing resilience and perspective. Trusting the timing of your life also means developing resilience in the face of setbacks and disappointments. Not everything will happen as we expect, and we will face challenges along the way. However, when we trust that these challenges are part of our journey and that they happen for a reason, we can find meaning in them. Setbacks are often opportunities in disguise, pushing us to learn, grow, and redirect our efforts in ways we may not have anticipated. Instead of being defeated by delays, disappointments, or detours, we can choose to view them as part of the process. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about embracing the lessons that come from it and trusting that the timing of these experiences is ultimately for our highest good. The right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences will come at the right time. 7. Letting go of comparison. One of the biggest barriers to trusting the timing of your life is comparing yourself to others. We live in an age where we are constantly bombarded with other people's success stories, their perfect careers, relationships, homes, and social media highlights. This comparison can make us feel like we are falling behind or missing out. However, everyone's journey is different, and what works for someone else may not be what is right for us. When we stop comparing our timeline to someone else's, we give ourselves the freedom to honor our own path. Trusting the timing of our life means embracing the unique rhythm of our own journey without worrying about whether or not we're measuring up to as we navigate the twists and turns of our individual journeys. It's crucial to remember that the timing of our lives is not something we need to rush or control. Each moment, every experience, and every challenge is a part of the greater picture that is unfolding just as it should. When we trust the timing of our lives, we allow ourselves to be present, to grow, and to embrace what comes our way with an open heart and mind. So I encourage you to release the pressure of timelines, to stop comparing your journey to others, and to trust that everything is unfolding in its own time. Embrace the seasons of your life, the moments of growth, the periods of rest, the times of challenge, and the bursts of joy. Trust that the process, though often unpredictable, is ultimately leading you to where you're meant to be. In the end, the beauty of life lies in its unfolding. When we trust that timing, we not only find peace, but we also discover the incredible power of living authentically and in alignment with what truly matters. So take a deep breath, let go of the rush, and trust that everything you need is already on its way exactly when it's meant to arrive. Thank you, others.